Goosebumps here, and today we're back with another book review, and it's going to be Night of the Giant Everything. Before we start, I just want to say thank you so much for getting my UK and USA Goosebumps comparison video to nearly, I think it's on 40,000 views right now, which is an absolute crazy amount compared to some of my other things. And thanks again for reaching 100 subscribers. I know it's a bit late saying that because I think we're on 122 right now, but again, thank you so much. I just really appreciate it. So yeah, thank you very much. Anyway, back to the book. So yeah, this is Night of the Giant Everything. So this is about Stephen and his friends Ava and Courtney. Stephen really likes magic, and he always does magic and practices magic on Ava and Courtney. But they're a bit fed up of that at this point because they always get messy or something goes wrong, and they're just fed up of it. Like at the beginning, he tries to do a magic trick on them, but he ends up putting silly string all over them, and just silly things like that. So after he practices these magic tricks on Ava and Courtney, he goes to a piano lesson at this dude's called Mr. Pinker. Mr. Pinker's a bit of a strange person, so as soon as Stephen shows up, he offers him chocolate chip cookies. And Stephen obviously says yes to be polite, but when he eats them, Mr. Pinker seems weirdly happy about it and says him to eat it all, and it's just a bit strange. So after he's eaten this chocolate chip cookie, he needs to go to the loo, so he's trying to find the toilet. And as he's trying to find this toilet, he goes in the room that he thinks is the toilet, but it's actually a weird room filled with little dollhouse, with like a little city. And it's doll houses, and there's massive like buildings, but they're all really tiny, they're scaled down, but it's like really detailed, there's roads and traffic lights and everything. So he thinks this is pretty strange, and Mr. Pinker comes in when he's in this room, and he shouts at him to get out. So he obviously didn't want him to be in there. So Stephen, to get on Mr. Pinker's good side again, has another cookie, asks for another cookie from Mr. Pinker just to be nice to get on his good side. And again, Mr. Pinker's really strange and is just really happy about this. So then after this piano lesson, he heads to Ava's house. I think it's Ava's house. So he heads to Ava's house where he's trying to show Ava and Courtney a magic trick with him juggling eggs. And as he's juggling these eggs, he actually drops them on Ava's head, and Ava's really upset, and Ava and Courtney both say that they're going to get revenge on him because they're just fed up with him messing around with them and everything. So they're really fed up, so they say they're going to get revenge, and Stephen's like, what are you going to possibly do that's going to get revenge? So Stephen, thinking that nothing's up, goes home, and his parents have actually found this bird that they call Bugsy. And Bugsy's it looks like a massive eagle. It looks like it should have been a massive eagle, but it's a really tiny bird, but it looks like an eagle. And Stephen's really happy about this. He tricks his parents and says that Bugsy bit his finger off, but he didn't actually. And so he tricks his parents again. He loves magic, so he just always messing around and everything. And he also gets Bugsy to actually lick his finger, and he thinks that means Bugsy really likes him. And then Stephen heads up to bed, feeling a bit sick and a bit not good in the tummy because of those chocolate chip cookies. So then he heads to bed, and the next morning, wakes up, goes to school, and the talent show is this day. So he goes to the talent show, and Ava and Courtney are his assistants. He thinks nothing of it, because yesterday said they're going to get revenge, but nothing's happened, so he just thinks, oh, well, let's just do the talent show. He's doing the talent show. All of his magic tricks are going really good. Everything's going smoothly. He does a trick with Bugsy where he takes him out of his magician's hat, and that went really good. And he's about to do a trick where he juggles 4 balls at the same time while Ava and Courtney give him a drink of water. And as Ava and Courtney give him this drink of water, he takes a sip, and it's absolutely disgusting. It tastes vile. He can't get this taste out of his mouth, so he runs off stage because he's really freaking out and everything because he doesn't know what it is. All the audience think this is part of the thing, this is part of the act, and they laugh it off and everything. So he's backstage, and he asks Ava and Courtney, what the hell was that drink? And they just say, oh, we've mixed up a bunch of things from the chemical lab into that drink, and he can't believe it. He's just drank chemicals, and he double checks with them, and they say yes because they're fed up of his jokes. So that was their revenge. So Stephen gets home, and when he gets home, his mum and dad aren't there, first of all, which he thought was really strange. So his mum and dad aren't there, and he goes upstairs to go look for them, and tries to go to the bathroom, but as he's walking down the landing to go to the bathroom, he actually walks out of his sneakers or his trainers because they're so small on him now for some reason, so he doesn't realise why, and then he realises he's actually shrinking. So that's the main half of the book. So he starts to shrink because of what? We don't know yet. But yeah, so he starts to shrink. So basically the rest of his book is, as you can tell, about him shrinking and trying to find out how to be big again and be normal again, and going through all these places and trying to survive, because as it says on the back, the world feels like such a bigger place when you're only 9 inches tall. So he's only 9 inches tall. So yeah, my final thoughts on this book, I would give it probably a 2 out of 5. It was quite boring. Like the beginning I thought was really good, and it got to the point fast, and it was good. It was a good beginning, but like in the middle of the book where it's about him shrinking and doing all these things, it just seems like they repeat themselves a lot, and they can't find other things to reasons to like there's no reason behind it and stuff. As in, there is a reason behind it, as in it's just the same thing that he's trying to do, and it's just a bit boring after a while. But I think the ending's really good. So I do suggest this book, but it's a bit boring. It took me a while to actually get into it. But yeah, next book that we're going to be reviewing is going to be The 5 Masks of Dr. Scream. So that's going to be a really good one. I also got a book haul and another special thing that I'm not going to talk about because it's a nice surprise, which is very cool, that I'm going to be doing a video on. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and yeah, thank you very much.